What's up, everybody? So, I will be talking today about a Tea Party reading strategy. Now, this strategy is more of a pre reading strategy rather than a during reading strategy, but it is a very good strategy nonetheless, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into it with y'all today. So, what is a Tea Party? So, this strategy is used to help students prepare for their reading. Um, Students are given different parts of a story, different quotes from a story, and they're able to make predictions based on what the quotes they have say. So you're having to dive deep into what those quotes say. You have to think really deeply with those quotes and work towards those predictions. And you do that as a group and come back and do it as a small group. So is it worth it? I think it is. Big reason for that is that students should not always get a chance to look at a passage or have any kind of connection to a passage before they dive right into what they're reading. So they might not be able to connect it all. So with this, you're helping making sure these students have an important connection to what they're reading, so that they can have understanding as you keep reading. Because even if they just have connection to one quote in that story, they're gonna want to be connected to that story until they get there, and they might fall in love with the story while they're waiting on that quote to come. So it's just one of the things that it really helps the students connect to the passage even before you do any kind of reading. So it's a good way to build prior knowledge. Now this is a very important part in a science class, a history class. Not as much ELA, because most of the time you're reading fiction stories or fiction literature. So that prior knowledge is being built for those other classes, but you're making sure those predictions about the passage that they haven't read are based on stuff that they have seen just a little snippet of. They're asking themselves questions and making sure that they answer them and make those connections to what they've asked themselves. So, an example in a history class, if you are doing this strategy and you're working on a passage about World War II, and students have no idea anything about World War II, and you give them a quote from a soldier, and they're having to make a prediction of what are they talking about, what happened during that war, who were they fighting. They're able to make that connection, build that prior knowledge, because there might be a student there who does know. So help to build that prior knowledge as they're having those conversations and working towards it.